Oh, yeah, it's the finals. Welcome into Hoops. I know, right?
Tears of joy.
Welcome into Hoop Streams, presented by DoorDash. I'm Cassidy Hubbarth, alongside Gary Striewski, Kendrick Perkins, and Tim Legler will be joining us in just a bit. But we have a delivery. Get your playoff rituals and save more with the championship deals delivered with DoorDash.
Don't shake my wings. Don't shake my wings. All right?
Give me my tip.
Joji, what a legend.
It's on the app.
What a legend.
I got you.
Look, it's game one of the finals, and you know what that means? We got to be joined by a Hoop Streams OG, the legend Kendrick Perkins, joining us now to kick off these NBA finals. Joining us from LA. Perk, so great to have you. Game one of the finals. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. This is look. This is what it's all about. DoorDash, Hoop Streams, NBA Finals, Jimmy Butler, Jokic. No one expected them to be here. This is what the finals is all about. Let's see who's ready to make hamburgers. I know it's some beef somewhere.
Seriously, finally the finals. We've been on the shelf, just like the Nuggets, waiting to find out what the finals matchup was going to be. The Miami Heat's miraculous run continues. Let's take a listen to, all the talk heading into this matchup, set the table with what happened in Media Day.
We have yet to win a championship, and that's why we're excited to be here, but know that we have a ton of work to do, and this is going to be the hardest challenge that any of us have faced in our NBA careers.
There's a lot of media in here and stuff, but we have 4 wins to go. We could keep that same mind state.
People thought we couldn't do it. People thought we weren't going to make this, we weren't going to do that.
If Denver wants to tip this thing off at the top of Everest, we'll do that. This thing is going to be decided between the 4 lines.
I don't think it has too much to do with anything. It's a thing of the past, high-level competition. But I will say I wasn't talking to Jokic. That wasn't my beef, so make sure you write that. And the individual who I was talking to definitely know who I was talking to.
Someone write who he was talking to? I need to know. Perk, you talked about the beef. These two teams, as Jimmy acknowledged, they have a past. So let's look back. Just what was feisty between these two? And remember when they got into it, Perk? Can you see this one getting physical?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. You know what? Jokic had every right to retaliate the way that he did. I'm just mad that none of his teammates came to his rescue. We're talking about your MVP here, your franchise guy. Where's everybody else energy on the Denver Nuggets bench? We see Udonis Haslem. We see Jimmy Butler fired up. Where everybody else at? You know what I mean? Don't leave your MVP, your best player on the island by himself.
I mean, in this picture, it was pretty legendary.
Yeah.
Gary, you've talked before
That's
about...
pretty daunting.
Yes.
All I would say, though, is Perk knows that the Jokic brothers were also in the stands, and those two guys are like villains in any Steven Seagal movie. Yeah. So I think every player on the Nuggets were like, his brothers got it. Matter of fact, they took it to the extent that they started their own damn Twitter account so that way they could chirp both of the Morris brothers. And they're like, listen, we don't got to do it at the Pepsi Center, Ball Arena. Come see us, which I love. So obviously that beef is going to get reignited because the Jokic brothers, as you see here front and center, they will chirp anyone, anytime, any place, at your crib, if you're an A-lister or if you're a player on the actual court.
Perky didn't need his teammates when he has his brothers.
Same.
Right, and then they travel. The good thing about your brothers, they're not afraid to travel. They went down to Miami to make sure that their brother was okay, and then after the game, they went out to the club like, I'm good out here.
What are they going to do, suspend them?
Right.
Look, and it's not just Jokic. Things got physical with Kyle Lowry when he was with the Raptors against Aaron Gordon when he was with the Magic. Do you remember this, Perk? Do you feel like these players use past moments like these as motivation come game time? That was a rough play.
We haven't heard any apologies between these two, so it's still some type of tension there. And anytime when you drop a room number and say, I'm here, that means you really want some smoke. So, look, you know what? I'm glad there's some beef in there, and I feel like it's going to be even more beef. You know who we need to keep a close eye on is Bruce Brown.
Yes.
He has really been an instigator in this postseason for us, him talking noise. We saw him get into it with the Lakers and their bench. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Jimmy Butler have words and have an exchange in this finals, and will make this make this interesting. That's what we want to see. We want to see it be interesting.
Perk, you've been part of your fair share of dust-ups on the court. I want to go real back quickly to that Kyle Lowry, Aaron Gordon thing, because that swipe he took at him down there in the bubble, that seemed personal because, of course you can talk the talk and you can get in each other's face, but when somebody's driving to the cup and you're sort of swiping at them like that, I mean, that could have led to something disastrous. So are there levels to this beef that we might see specifically with Lowry and Aaron Gordon?
You know what? I feel like we're going to be able to see it once they end up guarding one another, because it's going to happen sometime throughout the course of this series. And you can see by the intensity, or we can see by the noise talking, or the passion that each one of those guys come out with tonight. If they come out with a certain type of passion and they playing with that type of tenacity, then yes, the beef is still going to be there. But if we think for 1 second that the conversations is not being held in those locker rooms about those incidents, we are crazy, because they are. Guys are talking about it. Guys are saying we didn't forget those moments, and they haven't. And that's a great thing for the league. I don't want to see the jersey swaps. I don't want to see the jersey swaps.
No.
I want to see this right here.
And usually,
not nobody getting hurt.
My man.
No one getting hurt.
Yeah.
Usually game one is a feel-out game, but we'll see how much history, comes into play on the court. But also, let's check out how guys walked into the arena, as it's time now to see who's delivering looks. Brought to you by DoorDash. And let's see. I think speaking of Bruce
he's
Brown,
going full Denver.
What do you think? What kind of mindset you think here? Cowboy.
I don't know. Bruce Brown being from the Bean Town, from the Massachusetts there. Now, this is the look I want. If I'm a coach and I see my guy walking in with a T-shirt, take us there 4 more with some leggings on and some open-toe sandals with a do-rag, this is the player that I want leading my organization, because he's strictly about basketball and strictly about business. Forget a wardrobe. I've been there before. I don't care about, God.
Caleb Martin. You don't like it?
Caleb Martin.
He wants to
hit the 16th Street Mall before he pulled up to the arena.
He wants to put the Nuggets to bed tonight?
Where you going, to the Met Gala?
I think that's on my daughter's wall right now. Lights up. I don't think that's Met Gala apparel right there. Just saying. But okay, Caleb. I see you.
A starry night.
How about Michael Porter Jr.?
See, that's
clean.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Little summer suit.
Got the shades. He gonna rock the earrings. You know what I mean? He got the button up. He got the buttons. You know what I'm saying? Unbuttoned on his shirt. I kind of like that look. It's not doing too much, but it's doing just enough. And he gonna stay crispy with his lineup and his haircut. So I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
And you get the home court advantage. Obviously, this is a home game for them, so they don't need to worry about bringing stuff to travel. These Heat players, they're like, man, I don't want to bring all these suits. I don't want to bring all this gear with me. MPJ.
I mean, they had 9 days to figure out their outfit.
Yeah, you're right.
Nikola Jokic has been coming in with suits this year. He says he's about business, and that's why he's been rocking these suits. Yes, it's great. It's fine.
Again, Nikola Jokic looks like he could be a villain in a Steven Seagal movie. He looks like Bruce Willis has been hunting him down ever since he and his homies tried to take over Nakatomi Plaza, is what I'm trying to say. All right, Nikola Jokic, he's about that business. Is that business kosher? I don't know. Does he owe somebody 20%? People owe him 20%? I don't know. And I like the look.
Where did we just go there?
American Gangster.
Okay, got it. There we go. Now, we know that there was like a mini beef between Tyler Hero and Stan Van Gundy during the Eastern Conference Finals over Hero's bench fashion. Perk, did Stan have a point, or was he just hating on Tyler Hero's fashion?
Well, I don't see nothing wrong with Tyler Hero fashion. The only time, you judge someone's fashion is because you can't pull it off.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, you can't pull it off and you really want to pull it off like certain guys can. Like Tyler Hero, some of the things he's wearing and that he wore on the bench, only Tyler Hero could pull it off, and he actually looked pretty damn good in it. He actually looked fly in it. So I thought Stan was hating a little bit, because why are you worrying about his wardrobe when you're supposed to be educating us on the game of basketball, which he do a great job at, but I'm just saying.
Imagine Stan Van Gundy pulling up in some Celine in a Prada bucket. That'd be incredible.
Sipping his Pepsi?
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Yeah. There's some news, too, with Woj saying that Tyler Hero is hopeful for Game 2. We'll get into that conversation in just a bit. So he may be switching those, bench fashion for a jersey in these finals, but we'll see. Let's move on to a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. This was in the Western Conference Finals when Joker was having some difficulty putting on his T-shirt during the trophy presentation.
My man doesn't like sleeves. My man does not like to be held down. Obviously, no team in the Western Conference could have stopped him. The only person that stopped him was my boy Haynes. Or that might be a Gildan, I don't know. But it looks like my boy Fruit of the Loom held Jokic down. So add him to your roster if you want any chance. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if they gave him the right size. That, when they hand you guys the T-shirts and the hats afterwards during the finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, like, are they making sure that they're giving you guys like your right size, or is it just one size fits all, which is kind of hard with an NBA team?
Yeah, it's very hard, but the good thing about Jokic is that he's slim. Although he's first team all whack body, we understand that, and he represent for all whack bodies around the world, but he is in great shape. He's in great shape, and sometimes you just have to take what you got. And, the good thing about it is that he got himself in shape, so he probably would have been wearing a 4X if it was 2 years ago, but now he can squeeze into a 2X.
Yeah.
Double X.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, the dad bod god, as some people like to call him, who actually has, really good odds to win the Finals MVP. For more on
lock that up.
For more on the betting perspective at this year's Finals, here's the Daily Wager crew.
One of the most unpredictable postseasons ever will produce one of the most unlikely champions we've ever seen.
The Miami Heat's improbable postseason run continues. Just the second 8th seed ever to make the NBA Finals.
For the first time since the 1976 ABA-NBA merger, both NBA Finals participants were at least 10-1 to win it all entering the playoffs. The Miami Heat were 150-1 to win it all after falling into the 8th seed. They are the biggest long shot entering the playoffs to reach the NBA Finals since the merger. And if they can beat the Nuggets, they would be the biggest long shot champion in any North American sport in more than 3 decades. They would surpass Eli Manning and the 07 Giants, which also broke Boston sports fans' hearts. All that stands in Miami's way now is 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets.
Bang! Nikola Jokic! What a shot!
The Nuggets have been doubted by the odds makers all year. Despite being the top seed in the West, they were just 11-1 entering the playoffs, 3rd in their own conference. They were the 2nd longest odds for any one seed entering the playoffs in 2 decades. The Nuggets would have the longest odds for a champion since the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Now, the odds are in Denver's favor as a nearly -400 favorite. In the last 40 years, -300 or better favorites are 14-1 in the finals. The only loss coming in 2004 when the Pistons upset Shaq and Kobe's Lakers. The Heat look to beat the odds again and make betting history.
So we moved.
Do we think we can get any closer?
Yes, because we have quite the segment we're about to get into.
Indeed.
We know the teams are going to figure it out on the court who's going to be the winner.
Yes.
But we figured let's try to crown a winner in categories that really matter.
Actually matter.
Yes.
And in order to do that, you heard that voice of the Silver Sand legend.
My boys are going to love that.
Joe G, you're going to lead this segment.
I'm going to, but I did not deserve to be in front of such greatness.
Stop.
That's just the.
We know that, but a lot of sick
let's
calls.
let it go.
A lot of sick calls.
We're going Mr. Denver.
That's right.
We're awarding you Miss Miami.
Isn't that you?
You spent a lot of time
You're
there.
Mr. Miami. I'm the neutral. Okay, go.
Fresher, throwback hair.
Okay.
Between a member of the Nuggets and a member of the Heat.
Ooh.
Cassidy, we're going to start with you.
I mean, duh, it's Jimmy. Because Jimmy trolled us from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where we were using the video game image of him because we didn't put this image because we knew it was a troll.
We're like,
it's Jimmy.
how much biotin is this guy taking? Because how can you grow your hair out that quickly? I also said Hemi buckets, Hemi dreadlocks. Although we should give honorable mention to Aaron Gordon, who did it all natural.
Right.
Okay, he didn't need biotin for
that
that.
picture from? I'm just saying, it just does not compete with because this was the ultimate troll.
Better hair between you? I'm going to go Cass.
That's no, look, we both have that Asian fine hair.
That's true. It's very
Shout
thick,
out
very
AAPI
coarse.
month.
That's right.
They put us on a show.
Long gone.
Yeah, long gone.
Up next, tougher enforcer, Gary. I come from a place where you know a guy.
Of course.
Are we going to go somebody from the Nuggets?
All right, it's time to swim with the fishes, even though Denver's landlocked. Give me the Jokic brothers. I think those are our options right here. You don't know them, you don't hear from them, but by the time you hear them or see them, it's too late. So give me the Jokic brothers, because they've made a list with active players. And no disrespect to Udonis Haslem, I just don't think.
Do you really want to disrespect?
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. Just, you know what? All praise to the Jokic brothers.
It's UD, because that man is 42 years old, does not play.
That's the point.
That's
also the point.
Does not play. So he has clearly been enforcing something to be able to stay as a member, active member of that team. He's not a coach.
Yeah.
He's a coach so there's something he's doing. Mind tricks. I know this is his last year, swan song.
Yeah.
But
it's just the respect that you have to pay the elders, I think.
Which is
You know
kind
what
of
I'm
like
saying?
an enforcer,
So-
if you get that respect.
Who do you respect as the better celebrity courtside person? Cassidy, between the Nuggets and the Heat.
So we're going between Russell Wilson and DJ Khaled.
I mean, the list is low.
I don't think if I had to pick, Russell Wilson is a cash. He's a casual.
Yeah, you're right.
DJ Khaled at least reps for the Heat. And I just feel like, Joe G, if you had courtside seats and those Jordans, you would also pull out a pillow. So I got to go with DJ Khaled.
Gary?
Because DJ Khaled is a fan. Russell Wilson he's like a character on the sideline.
I would think the other way around.
What's Russell Wilson doing on the sideline? Ha ha he he. You can laugh at him. DJ Khaled, you generally laugh with him and / at him. For those reasons, though, I'm hardcore going Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Just because I got to stick with the Denver roots.
Another one.
Better. Thank you, Cass. Somebody had to do it. Better nickname. We're going to start with Cassidy.
I don't remember what the options were. Oh, that's
you know what it is? You know why? As much as I love Hemi buckets, I feel like people don't even know that Joker isn't Nikola Jokic's name.
That's a
like
good
actual
point.
name.
That's a good
They
point.
just call him Joker.
That's a very
good point.
point.
A small story. I didn't know if it was Nikola or Nikola in the bubble. So I did a post-game interview and I just said, Jokic, how did you be? All right, anyways, I go Joker. You.
I'm gonna go with Hemi buckets because there's a lot of options. This is sort of like choose your own adventure because you start with Hemi buckets and then all of a sudden you're calling him Hemi Neutron and then you're calling him Him Duncan and then all of a sudden you're taking Hemi buckets and he's now Him Hebo. I say that to say when I saw him in Miami ahead of the F1 Grand Prix, I was like, Hemi buckets, and he was disgusted with me. He was like, he wouldn't even make eye contact.
Are you breaking news? Did you come up with Hemi buckets?
I don't think I came up with it, but I think I was the first one potentially to present it to him in his face. Didn't even make eye contact with me. He was like, "That's not my name."
And now he wants to trademark it.
And now he trademarked it. So he
the audacity.
did me dirty.
The audacity.
Like, my bad. Hemi Neutron. He's like, "That's not my name."
I'm him.
That's what I'm saying.
Better time between Denver and
Cassidy
Miami.
had a good point as to why we kept it better time as opposed to better vacation.
Better vacation.
Cassidy, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, so wait, it's not better time as in like mountain time versus.
Although mountain time is the better time.
I guess you're right.
It is. You wake up earlier. NFL football's
Yes.
on at 11 a.m.
There's complaints about the East Coast. There's complaints about and the mountain time is the least used time zone, but it is the best.
Primetime sporting events are over.
We're talking about that. What we were talking about is better vacation.
Yes.
And as someone who got engaged in Aspen, I don't even know how many years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, whatever. I have to say Aspen.
You better not say whatever, though. You better not say whatever.
It's been a while. And it's a wonderful vacation. It's like you get a workout in and then you know, it's peaceful. There's not a lot of distractions. I don't really believe it. I wish I was on a beach, but I got to say Aspen.
All right, well, I 100% believe that Aspen is a better vacation. Okay, keyword. You can get a beach anywhere. If you wanted to go to a beach, I'm not going down to South Beach. You know where I'm going? I'm going to East Haven. I'm going to Silver Sands to see the legend over there at Stavens Silver Sands Beach Bar. That's where I'm at.
Gary
but Aspen for a vacation. Denver. I also grew up in Denver, but I've only been there once.
So what does this mean?
ESPN paid for it.
It means that, I don't know.
It means
there's no declare other than these are the things that really matter. You're welcome.
Valid.
Thanks, Joe.
Valid point.
The game also matters as you're watching Hoop Streams presented by DoorDash.
I thought we were just doing this or that.
As we get set for Game 1 of the NBA Finals between Miami and Denver, the Nuggets won both regular season meetings between the teams this year, with Jokic averaging a triple-double. Surprise, surprise. We'll see if the extra rest bodes well for the Western Conference champs, who are entering with 7 extra days of rest. And we now welcome in Tim Legler into Hoop Streams. 4 wide here. And what a crew as we...
I should not be on this 4 box with you guys.
Yes, you should. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about with some bright minds as we get into the main attraction, as we're minutes away from the Nuggets and Heat. And look, this was posted by ESPN Social.
This was worth your 90 seconds or however long it was, because ESPN Social platform posted this, and effectively it's just a caricature narration of how both of these teams got to the playoffs, or got to these finals. You see Jimmy Buckets right there knocking off the 1 seed, and then Nikola knocking off the Suns, kicking out the big gorilla, handing them an L in the semifinals, and then Jimmy owning New York, and then the sweep, the one sweep.
When did Jokic do that?
Yeah, the one sweep that we saw in these playoffs was the Nuggets over the Lakers. I called that. Oh, sorry, a little dusty in here. And then Jimmy hitting Tatum with the T. Of course, this game went to 7. It was at the Garden. Were we going to get revenge, the Boston Celtics, in that Game 7 after the Bruins got dispatched in Game 7 at the Garden to the Florida Panthers? The answer is no, and here we are. Nuggets, Heat, Game 1 in just minutes.
We're in Bristol, but our reporters are out on site in Denver to give us a hand to tee up our analysts here. And we're going to kick things off with Om Youngmisuk. And Om, Denver's first finals appearance, but what would it mean for Jokic's legacy to win this finals?
Cash money. There is nothing left for Nikola Jokic to do other than win a championship. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double. He's entering the finals with 6 triple-doubles in his last 8 games. As Michael Malone said, stat padding, what do you want from him? All the critics that have said stuff that he's the Steve Nash of our generation with 2 MVPs but has never won anything. Well, guess what? If he wins a championship, what else is there left to say about him? He beat Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. He beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And now, if he beats Jimmy Butler and the greatest coach in the NBA, Spo, I don't think there's anything left to say about Nikola Jokic.
Legs. Let's go to you on this. Bigger story. Jokic getting his first finals win, or Jimmy Butler getting his first finals win?
Wow. Well, I think, look, the way I look at it, I want every great player to get one, right? Because I understand historically those guys get judged differently than the supporting cast, right? I played 10 years in the league. Nobody cares if I won a ring or not. But those guys that are at the top of the food chain, it matters to those guys. And since Jimmy Butler's a little bit older, it's probably more important that he seizes this opportunity and win one. So from that perspective, I'd say Jimmy Butler. But here's the thing about Nikola Jokic, right? It's validation. The guy's got 2 MVPs. He has not been to the finals yet. So now he's on that stage. And if you're talking about a guy now that has quickly climbed those rungs in the ladder when we start talking about historical greatness, well, then you need to check that box. And he's on this stage now. You need to check that box as a champion, as a guy that has led a team to a title. So this is his first opportunity to do it. And a guy that I think is quickly climbing the ranks. And when we start talking about all-time great players, it's important for him to seize this opportunity as well. So I'm going to be thrilled for either one of these guys, Cass, no matter who wins it, because I just love the way they both play the game.
True. But, Perk, do you feel like it'd be validation for Joker?
Absolutely. I put him in the same room as Giannis before Giannis won his championship and Finals MVP. Like, that was all Giannis was missing. And think about the leap for his rankings and all-time greats that Giannis took after he completed the mission and took home the Finals MVP. And it would do the same for Jokic. Look, he has the numbers. He already has the resume. We know how he changed that whole entire franchise. We know how he was drafted in the second round. We know that he's one of the greatest foreign players to ever touch the European players to ever touch the basketball. Also, he is the most skilled center to ever touch the basketball. If he go on to win the championship and win the Finals MVP, we're going to be talking about him arguably being the greatest European basketball player to ever step foot into an NBA arena.
In his first Finals appearance at that. Meanwhile, for Eric Spoelstra, the Finals is kind of old hat. And there was a lot made of the motivational video Spoelstra showed his team ahead of Game 7. Nick Friedel has been on the Heat beat this entire playoff run. Nick, what on earth did Spo show the Miami Heat?
Cass, I want to believe it was the Goonies. I want to believe that Spoelstra showed Mikey in the wishing well saying, this is my wish. This is us. We're the Goonies. We can make it. But I think that's too deep of a cut for this group. So with that in mind, you got to go with Rocky. Nobody believed in this team. Nobody thought they could get there. I want Jimmy's face on Rocky's head going, knocking out all kinds of meat slabs in the middle of a freezing fridge somewhere in Philadelphia. I'm going with Rocky. I think it covers all bases. And for an underdog to get to this point, I think it really is fitting.
Great movies,
Listen,
Goonies.
I just watched Creed 3 yesterday, so I'm rocking the
not the
Rocky,
same thing as Rocky.
the Creed, the Adonis, the Apollo storyline all day on that.
Hey, I'm throwing on Hoosiers. Hoosiers for me.
That's a good one.
You want to watch a basketball movie to get you hype about the underdog, right? There's nothing better than Gene Hackman going into that gym when they're about to play the state championship game and measuring the rim, measuring the distance to the foul line because all his kids were overwhelmed by the size of the gym and saying, isn't that the same height that we have back in Hickory? Isn't that the same distance at the foul line we have back in Hickory, right? It's one of the great motivational moments in any sports movie.
Perk,
if you win dinner at St. Elmo's.
I don't have a movie. I'm just trying to figure out what did Eric Spoelstra actually show them because his face when Bam put him on blast during that speech was priceless. So I really want to know. It probably was rated R. That's why he was like, Bam, hold on, man. Like, we don't have snitches in this locker room.
In-house.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it in-house.
We don't have snitches in this locker
That's exactly what he was doing on that podium. All right, let's finish up with our reporters. Brian Windhorst also on site in Denver. Brian, what was your favorite outside-the-box weird storyline about this matchup?
So, Cassie, let me tell you a story about Rocky, the Denver Nuggets mascot, and how much weight he carries here in Denver. About 10, 12 years ago, remember when they changed the basketballs to the synthetic leather, and then they didn't go well at all? Everybody's hands were getting all torn up, and they decided, like, in the middle of the season, actually, we're going to go back to the leather basketballs. Well, they only had like 4 or 5 of them in the whole arena here in Denver because they'd gotten rid of them. They wanted the synthetic basketballs, and they were waiting for the leather ones to come in. But they go to have their first practice, and there's only like 2 or 3. They're missing like 2 of the 5 basketballs they have. They're looking all over this building. Where are the old Spalding leather basketballs? They were in Rocky's dressing room because Rocky was practicing his half-court shots. And Rocky comes pretty high in this organization, and he got 2 of the 5 basketballs. His practice is important too.
He is the highest paid mascot in the league. He makes $625,000 a year.
It's well earned because that mountain lion can drive a motorcycle. He gets up on those ladders, and I'm scared of heights.
$625,000 a year?
I'm going to start riding a unicycle tomorrow.
Legs, you better go get on your split squats.
I'm going to get on that unicycle.
I am saying. All right, well, speaking of...
do enough for me.
Look, that is a lot.
Wow.
Rocky's been a legend.
Legs, speaking of earning your money, let's talk a little bit about Spo. You know, obviously that zone worked a lot against the Celtics, but what do you feel like Spo is telling this team on how to limit this Denver Nuggets offense, specifically Nikola Jokic?
Yeah, look, I have a feeling that the zone will not be as prevalent in this series because of Nikola Jokic's skill set and where he likes to operate and the way he catches the ball in the middle of the floor, his passing ability. You know, he can get it from the middle of the floor basically to anywhere on the court with velocity on it. It's just going to be very difficult to play a zone against a guy this smart, this skilled, that's going to pick you apart. So I think the key for the Heat, more than anything else, is going to be to slow that initial push up the floor. Like Denver plays with such pace, make or miss, to get you back on your heels and then play into that secondary offense with those quick hitters off the dribble handoffs and the quick pin downs. And I think that's going to be key for Miami. 5 guys back in front of the ball and then do the best you can against an offense right now that is humming, unlike few we've ever really seen getting into the NBA Finals. Their offensive efficiency rating through the roof. It's a big challenge for Spo and this Heat team, but if anybody's got the competitive will and the game plan to do it, it's the Heat.
Yeah, and you mentioned something on your Twitter. You were putting out those tweets today, Legs. Follow Legs at Legs ESPN.
I got a blister on my thumb.
You're over here acting like Kendrick Perkins. Who are you trying to,
It's the finals. It's the finals. I expect that out of Legs. I look forward to it.
Legs might be retired, but he still gets those shots up on Twitter.
Exactly.
Shots up, all right?
But Perk, like biggest key you're looking forward to in game 1?
Well, I'm ready to see what game plan Eric Spoelstra is going to put together for us, taking away the others on the Denver Nuggets. Like, I witnessed Jokic go for 50 and the Nuggets lose a game, and it was during the Phoenix Suns series. I wonder how he's going to put a game plan together for us, taking away the cuts when they fall asleep defensively. Offensively, we don't give the Miami Heat enough credit. When I watch their offense, especially when Duncan Robinson is in the game, Spo has done a tremendous job for his body movement, player movement, a lot of misdirection. And I'm also looking forward to this man right here.
Yeah.
Can Caleb Martin keep it up? Can he continue to be the second best player on this Heat team offensively and be the Robin to Jimmy Butler to help deliver a championship back to the Miami Heat organization?
I think this is a true situation where the Nuggets are playing with a 6th man at altitude in Denver. First NBA Finals ever for this franchise. Nikola Jokic already in the history books with 8 postseason triple-doubles. I think we see a 9th tonight. Give me Denver.
Oh, okay. So Gary's going with Denver. Game 1. Legs, who do you got winning game 1?
I think Denver wins game 1. I think Denver wins the series. I'm going to call it in 6 games, and I'm giving Miami 1 or 2 games because they contest everything. You're not going to have to – you're going to have to kill them to get rid of them. They just don't go away. Mm-hmm. They're going to fight to the end, and they're going to be in games. And if you have close games and you expect the Jimmy Butler impact late in at least a couple of those games. But overall, I just don't know how the Heat have enough firepower to put the number on the board you're going to have to against this Denver offense. And so ultimately, I think Denver will win the series, and I think they'll win game 1.
Your thoughts, Perk?
Heat, massive underdog against the Milwaukee Bucks. We know what happened in that series. They was an underdog against the New York Knicks. We know what happened in that series, and they were a massive underdog against the Boston Celtics, and they rolled them up like a yoga mat. And I'm just looking at game 1s. They have won all the game 1s up to this point. They approach game 1s like it's their game 7, while everybody else is trying to do that fill you out type mentality in the game 1. I'm going Miami Heat to take this one tonight, and I'm also going with the Miami Heat to actually win this series.
Wow. Okay.
And it's going to be on the back of not only Jimmy Butler, but Eric Spoelstra. I haven't seen Eric Spoelstra smile this much or be this confident since he had D-Wade and LeBron James. And even then, I didn't see him have this much confidence in the way that he has in this group.
All right. How many games did you say it's going to take for the Heat to win?
Well, I didn't say games. I'm just picking them to win the series.
All right, that's fair.
I'll
leave it at that. I don't think these are deciding factors, but I just want to say the rust for Denver, altitude, and how much the Heat have left in the tank for Miami. My pick, I'm going to go with Denver. And I think
Boom!
I'm going to go with Denver in...
And give it to me in 7 because, I'm
going to go with Denver in 5. I hate to do it. I know. Bye. Okay, that's good. Thanks so much. I didn't like that look from you, Perk. All right, game 1 now live. You can watch it on the ESPN app. Just log into your cable provider now. Thank you so much for watching Hoop Streams, delivered by DoorDash. We'll be back Sunday night for game 2. For Perk, Legs, Gary, Joe, I'm Cassidy. Enjoy game 1.
What about all the reporters from Denver?
And Nick, and Wendy.
Who else did we miss?
Luna, our producer.
And sorry if we forgot you.
Yes.